I talk boxing and MMA like nobody else does. Tune into the FightBig.com podcast show. This is FightBig.com's Rick Deserves podcast.
Uncensored boxing talk for uncensored MMA talk. Tune into the FightBig.com podcast show.
What's up, dudes? It's your boy Rick from FightBig.com. I'm broadcasting live out of my lair here in New York. Yeah, the weather's looking crappy outside, but I'm feeling good. And I gotta tell you guys real quick, let me start this off. I'm just getting into fight news real quick. But before that, I just want to say I got a juicer for Christmas. I know you hear people talk, oh, you got a juice, it's so healthy. Everyone's like, yeah, you'll use it like twice. Well, I've been using it since Christmas, like once a week at least, a minimum. Like twice a week. I make a lot. I keep it in the fridge. I'll probably maybe put up a little picture, show you guys, because today I made beets and carrot. Carrots are ridiculously good. You juice the carrots, it's pure, it's so good. So I suggest you all go out and get a juicer. And really, it's so sweet. I mean, I'm like, wow, this is real carrot juice. It's just pure. So I put some beets in there. Got the vitamin A, D, wait, there's no D. The vitamins, potassium in there. Maybe I'll put up a little vitamin list. But besides all that, you guys should go out and get a cheap one. I got it at Macy's. It was a gift, actually. I looked at the price, was decent. And I mean, all these vitamins going straight to your cells. It's all good. You know, it can't hurt you. You love fighting. You like to look at the fighters. You see them in there doing their thing. I mean, why not exercise and eat like a fighter? I mean, lifestyle is important. You only live once. Get one body, one lifestyle, you know. And you guys can be juicing like me, and it's really good because I feel so good. That's where I get all my energy from. Everyone's like, oh, you're on coke, you're a weed head, you know, I had the long hair, all these assumptions. I don't do drugs, I rarely drink. So your boy right here is like a fighter, really. I train like a fighter. I just don't take the headshots. I'm a punk and I don't want to mess up my face, you know what I mean? But let's get into talking about fighting. Oscar De La Hoya, allegations. He's at the Ritz-Carlton Hotel, allegedly. I'm reading the news here. By the way, by the time this comes out, it'll be Friday. We're like leaking into Friday right now. So it's Thursday and we're going into Friday. By the time I'm done with this, it's going to be Friday, dudes. So, Oscar De La Hoya, model chick. What else? Again, with the underwear. This chick is allegedly, you know, he ordered cocaine, a bunch of weed, and Oscar's partying up with her and made her, I'm reading this is all alleged off the press here, cocaine, weed, $300 worth, and I'm paraphrasing all this, by the way, and he made the girl take part in disgusting sexual acts. Oh, sure, disgusting. Come on. I mean, this is so ridiculous. We all know De La Hoya's got issues and stuff. I mean, on women's underwear and all that, bisexuality, whatever. That's his business. But when you got a chick rolling up in there trying to say he did this and that and disgusting acts, this chick probably has a bag with sex toys. She's probably got lingerie. This chick is probably the biggest hoochie mama you've ever seen, and she's going to drag this man in a court. I'd be so embarrassed. These soulless vessels, these people suck. So when you get big out there, when you work in the dream, and you make money, whether you're famous or not, always watch out because you got someone standing behind you. It could be a pretty ass hooker trying to steal your loot. So Pacquiao and Floyd aren't fighting. I've been saying this for the longest. If you're following me, you're watching my shows and all that, you're listening to these things, I've been saying this for a while. I kind of figured out they weren't going to fight 2 years ago. So that's why I never made a prediction and jumped in on the whole hype. It's all bullshit. I'm sick of it, all right? I'm at the point, yeah, I'm a Pacquiao fan and I'm a kind of a Floyd fan in some ways. I love the guy's a master in the ring. So I have no bias. I always go with the straight, what I think, you know, the real deal, the feelings. That's why I'm on point with a lot of my predictions. And I just think these guys are going to avoid each other. And if they do end up fighting, my prediction is it's going to be when no one gives a shit. All right, it's going to be like Roy Jones or Hopkins too. I've been trying to say this for a while. Now, surprise me. I hope I'm wrong. Of course, yeah, duh. I want to see them fight. I'm not fucking... How do you kill boxing in one fucking stroke of the pen? You do what these two guys are doing. They get up to the upper echelon of boxing. They become the elite. They become the most like sought after boxers, and they're basically in the same weight division. And what do? You hype up, and they don't freaking fight. How retarded is boxing? And I'm sick of it, all right? I'm pissed off. And that's why people are gravitating towards UFC. I talk to people all the time. Some dude was at my house the other day, insurance guy, I didn't even know. He just heard me see what I was doing. I was working on some things. And he was like, oh, yeah, I love MMA. I used to love boxing, but boxing sucks now because, you don't have these fights. You got these setup fights. So I go straight to the UFC. That's why boxing's lost a lot of fans. If the argument is boxing has lost fans, it's because of this. By the way, let me take off these glasses. The light's so bright in here. The cool factor's gone. I threw my shades back there. This is who I am today. Yay. Got my ski hat. Got the camouflage on. So anyway, I'm pissed off about that. So Cotto versus Floyd is almost done. I'm reading online. Okay, who the hell wants to see that fight? I don't want to see that fight. I like Miguel Cotto. I have some things in common. We both kind of lost a father when we were young. Yeah, I kind of felt like, yo, I'm a fan of him now because, what he's talking about, the 24/7s, and he lost his dad. I lost my cool dad too at a young age. If you're in your 20s and your 30s and you lose your dad, there's people out there in their 50s with dads. So, I can relate to him. I get emotional when I seen that episode. I identified with Mr. Miguel Cotto. He's awesome. He's a great ambassador to the sport. I'm not disrespecting him in any way. Felix Trinidad was my favorite fighter of the 90s. Loved him. And you don't have to be Boricua, Puerto Rican, to be a fan of something. I hate when people go, oh, Gaddy fan, oh, you got to be Italian. Hey, forget about it. I'm Italian, and you know what? I liked Trinidad better all my life. Gaddy was the man too, of course. What I'm saying is, I think that Miguel Cotto never beats Floyd Mayweather. It's not gonna happen. So why do I want to save us all the bullshit, save us all the 24/7s, all the money, all the hype up, all the storyline, all the subplots, all the experts? Well, I think this and I think that, and what's so funny about some boxing experts that are paid and they're known? Not all of them. I gotta tell you guys, it's funny to me. They go, you ever hear that saying? I'm gonna say my head says Floyd's gonna win and my heart says Cotto's gonna win. Look, that's because they're unsure and they're protecting their own asses. Usually when I make a prediction and I know who's gonna win a fight, I just give it to you straight up. Because I have nothing to lose. Who cares? So what? You're wrong. But a lot of these guys, they just don't want to commit for whatever reason. They're in a public, that's what they do for a living. But I say you get more respect if you come out and say who's going to get their ass whipped, who do you think is going to lose the fight, and who do you think is going to win the fight. Straight up, Cotto never wins that fight. I'll put it out there. So I just got to say Cotto's a great fighter. It would be a great story. Floyd beats him 10 out of 10 times. I don't want to see it. What am I going to see? And I'm going to buy it. I'm the biggest, believe it, I'm the biggest sucker there ever was when it comes to boxing. I will buy every freaking pay-per-view, even if I'm in a poorhouse, because I've done that. I'm pissed off. I'm really mad. Who isn't mad? If you're into boxing, you're mad at this. So, it's bullshit. And some of these guys, I don't think they're casual fans or whatever that are like, Cotto might win. Come on. Cotto might win if Floyd just doesn't train. Sure. If Floyd's like, you know what? I give up. This is going to be my last fight. I'm not into it. That's when Cotto wins. I'm sorry. Cotto is a great B fighter. Floyd always was an A elite fighter. And we're here talking about the fight. So I got to give you my unbiased, realist, authentic prediction. And some people they disagree with you and they get mad at you. I'm not trying to, look, I got love for all fight fans. Even some dudes that I correspond with or whatever on the down low, we talk or we email or whatever. If they don't agree or I don't agree with them, I don't get mad. Oh, I hate you. You suck. The whole boxing thing is just really pissing me off. So that's why I love the MMA. It's like I always say, the great appetizer to my boxing. Because in MMA, you have amazing fights often, because they just throw them in there, and it's like one organization, like beating a dead horse here, but I was talking about it. It's the Fertitas brothers and Dana White. It's not a bunch of organizations corrupt like boxing, WBC, IBF, this, that, and the third. So you get this card, and it's not like you have a cheap guy versus an elite fighter. They get in there, the gloves are smaller, the outcomes are hard to predict. It's just really, really good, and they have the prelims usually on Spike TV, so you could set up a night of fights around all these fights. There's hours of these things. That's what I do, and I enjoy it all. If I'm out, I get it on. I use my box to tape it or whatever. So it's really, really cool, and I really like it. And it's always healthy for boxing to have some competition. The best thing that ever happened to boxing is mixed martial arts becoming popular. I don't want to see Floyd Mayweather versus Cotto, and on the undercard you have like that guy Cinnamon Alvarez fighting like some unknown cab driver that he's gonna beat up. All right, and they're like, oh, he's so amazing. Oh, he's a star. That guy is no star. That guy's like a little bit above Andy Lee. Yeah, it's harsh, whatever. Andy Lee's a bum. I said that a million times. He pulled out of a recent fight. The guy's weak. I mean, we're talking about FightBig.com. I want to talk about big fights or elite potential fighters coming up in the game, you know. And I love boxing, so I like to talk about all of it, of course. But when I pay for a freaking card, I don't want to see Cotto versus Floyd Mayweather. That's HBO Championship Boxing, Showtime Championship Boxing in my head because I already know who's going to win, all right? One day it will come back to bite me in my ass that I'm wrong on something like this with a big, bold prediction, but that's okay because I'm going to be right most of the time with stuff like this. Floyd Mayweather is on another level than Miguel Cotto, okay? He's going to break him down. He's going to beat him up. Cotto took too many beatings already in his career, and yeah, he looked good against Margarito. Floyd Mayweather, I think, could put Miguel Cotto away and stop him if he really tries, but I'm going to go with the safe decision on that. That's my prediction for that fight. So either way, you got Floyd Mayweather winning that fight, and you got Pacquiao taking on Lamont Peterson or Tim Bradley or somebody else. I want to get into that maybe in the next podcast on who I think Pacquiao is going to probably fight. You got 4 dudes. They're looking at that, I think that June date, and it's going to be someone who I'm figuring that Pacquiao won't have trouble with style-wise. He should stay away from the boxer type. But another thing, people were so shocked that Manny Pacquiao had trouble with Marquez. Everyone was predicting, oh, the amazing boxing experts, yeah, all that good stuff. We're saying he's going to blow him out, but yours truly said Pacquiao is going to go the distance with him because this man has always caused problems for Pacquiao, all right? In 3 fights, going into that fight, 2 fights, he had problems with Marquez. And what's the big, okay, and there was a big hype up. Now all of a sudden Pacquiao has the 3rd fight with him and he doesn't look too good. What happened to the other 2 fights? Really? He was looking not too good then, right? They were close fights. So what all of a sudden that refreshed everybody's memory? While Pacquiao has trouble with Marquez, if Floyd doesn't. Just, why weren't you saying that after the Floyd fight before Marquez and Pac 3? It's just weird. People's, you know, it's just a whole perception that people have, but that was always there. That's my point, that those facts were always there. So, we'll see what happens with this whole thing. I think these guys aren't going to fight. Like I said, it's going to be too late. It's going to be 2013, 14. There's going to be chinks in their armor. You know, in their armor. You got Floyd Mayweather. He's like going to be like pushing 40, and Pac's going to be well in his mid-30s, and they're going to fight each other. And no one's going to give a damn. It's going to be like Roy Jones Jr. versus Tito Trinidad. You know, remember that? Don King a couple years ago, 4 years ago, whatever. But, so anyway, I'm going to cut this short. I think it's because my podcast, if you're listening to this, doesn't go as long. They don't give me enough room as the YouTube. YouTube gives me more room to work with here now. I got more than 50 minutes to upload. But, whatever, it is what it is. And you guys, you know, I'll give shouts out to all you people that are listening to me. If you're on a Team HBO account checking me out, if you can go over to Fight Big COM, one word, on YouTube, hit me up there. I'll see you dudes soon. You know, stay healthy, get that juicer. So you guys enjoy the fights this weekend. And I'll be back. We'll talk about Victor Ortiz versus Andre Berto. That's going down in February. That's going to be really interesting, really hard to predict. Like the first fight, it's going to be a really, really, really good freaking fight. If we can get a couple of those in boxing, we'll be straight on one card, you know? Alright, dudes, I'm out. Take care of yourself. Peace.
For uncensored